Oh, there's a lot of karmic justice going around. I love it. Whether that be in, politics slash current events or tech and gaming, lots of karmic justice going around. I made a video, my first video on Nano Horizon Gaming, my first official video anyway, and been doing loads of testing because, God knows there's problems with OBS and YouTube and uploading and live streaming and all that shit. And this video was about Grand Theft Auto, shitting on Grand Theft Auto, and I thought it was really sad and ironic, actually. And I think I even mentioned so in the video, that I make a video like that as my first video on Nano Horizon Gaming, because my first video as Nano Horizon ever was on Grand Theft Auto. And I was covering Grand Theft Auto 5, and I was covering all the things that I was hearing, just keeping my ear low to the ground about it. And that was before people really covered news. There was just the big sites. There was just like game trailers and shit like that. IGN. Those were the people that people watched regarding games, and everything was very scripted and very official, and it was what the game developers and game press wanted you to know. And that, it wasn't really the era of leaks that we live in right now. So nobody took this stuff seriously, but I caught wind of some of their budgets, like people who were looking at the company's spending somehow. They were in the company or whatever, or claimed to be. Clearly they were legitimate, because I was absolutely right about what was going on, and they were building a full-on online mode. It looked to me, the amount of money that they were spending and the amount of people that they were hiring and the types of positions that they were in, or types of specialties that they had, they were clearly developing a game that was based entirely online. It's very clear cut to me. And I was absolutely right about that. Some video on my channel that has 200 or 300 views was absolutely dead on at least a year before everybody else. It's kind of funny. I wonder how many other people like me that there are there that caught on to that. Anyways, Grand Theft Auto now is in such a state of collapse and disarray that I don't think the series is ever going to recover. And that sounds hyperbolic for something that has, 120 million sales? It's some ridiculous number of sales, and it's made... Jesus, last time I did the math, it was $10.5 billion. Probably made $11 or $12 billion by now. And it sounds kind of ridiculous and hyperbolic to say something like that is in some state of collapse, but it certainly is, and I'll explain to you why. Its fan base has completely abandoned it. And neither Take-Two Interactive or Rockstar is even aware of it. They have no idea this is going on, clearly. Otherwise, they wouldn't be committing to the actions that they're committing to. And I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Fucking allergies. What's happening in Grand Theft Auto Online is, if I can simplify it to its greatest degree, the legitimate player base of Grand Theft Auto Online has less and less and less incentive to play the game. Less and less incentive to behave legitimately, according to what Rockstar claims they would like them to be, which is legitimate players not exploiting the game, not resorting to out-of-game methods to cheat the system. Mod menus. Yet they repeatedly reward people for cheating. Right? What sense does that make? Well, I'll explain it to you. There's a thing in the game that people do. Is it cheating? At the very best, I would say that it is walking a fine line between Rockstar's guidelines and exploiting the game. What it is players have found a vulnerability in the game's network code to create what is known as public-private lobbies. And a lot of people probably get mad at me for mentioning this because they'd never want Rockstar to know, but I'm sure that they know. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm reasonably confident that they know. And what this is players not manipulating, but rather gaming the game engine through its unstable connection to create a lobby that only they can reside in. And because only they can reside in this lobby, other players on their contact list can join them into this lobby that's not visible to the outside infrastructure of Grand Theft Auto Online. They're creating a pocket that is, while considered a public lobby that they can do all missions in and all work in, it's private in the sense that nobody from the outside world can view it, can connect to it, unless they have a contact in that lobby. So it sounds complicated, but it's rather simple. And the reason that people do this, and the reason this is rampant and widespread in Grand Theft Auto Online, is because that's the only way to play the game. If you spend 5 minutes in a public lobby in Grand Theft Auto, you will get decimated. You will never make a single penny in Grand Theft Auto Online in a public lobby. It's not going to happen. Maybe in console, right? I don't play on console, so I don't have any knowledge of that. But consoles suffer greatly from this as well. And you can look up Grand Theft Auto Online public-private lobby. You can find all sorts of tutorials, and they keep changing. Because Grand Theft Auto, or rather Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar, continue to assault the legitimate players who have to resort to this, really, to play the game, legitimately. They keep assaulting them and changing their network code so that it becomes harder and harder for people to create these public-private lobbies. And the reason for this is because it's hurting their bottom line. It's hurting their bottom line more than the mod menu people, because every time they ban someone, every time they wipe someone's account for some major or minor offense, that's one person that has to buy a new account or a shark card to get themselves back on their feet. You see what's happening? Rockstar has no incentive to reward their legitimate players. In fact, they have every incentive to attack them, which is what they are actively doing. They are actively attacking their legitimate fan base and players, while rewarding anybody who wants to just buy a $15 account or get a free one through Epic Games and get a mod menu and just completely abuse the game. Chances are they won't get caught, and if they do, big deal. So just another $15 and you're back online in an hour. So you see what I'm saying? Rockstar, looking at their numbers, looking at all their metrics through Grand Theft Auto Online, it looks like nothing's wrong. When, in reality, their entire fan base has abandoned them, and the game itself has become a cancerous tumor, filled with people who have really no interest in Grand Theft Auto, the game, but only interest in creating a incredibly toxic environment of people abusing the game through exterior methods. And that is what's happened to Grand Theft Auto. And not only do they have no control over the situation, they're not even aware of it. These are just people, they don't play the game. They have no idea. If they spent 5 minutes, if Grand Theft Auto's executives spent 5 minutes on Grand Theft Auto Online, they'd say, holy shit, we need to do something about this. But they don't. They have no idea. They have no idea. They're like the parents that have gone on vacation and left their kids with the keys to the house. There's a gigantic house party going on inside, and they're smashing all their shit. They have no idea. They phone home, and, Billy answers the phone and says, oh yeah, everything's fine. Have a good vacation. That's what's happening in Grand Theft Auto right now. So anyways, the reason I started this off with Karmic Justice is because, I made my first video shitting on Grand Theft Auto, not for the sake of shitting on it, but legitimately because of everything that I just explained. And I actually lost subscribers because of that. And even people that I know personally got pissed at me and unsubscribed from my channel because they assumed that I'm just shitting on Grand Theft Auto for the sake of it. Well, they just lost their accounts. Why? Because they participated in a garage glitch. I don't know what it is because I didn't. I know better than that now because I know that Rockstar will ban you for fucking anything. Anything they can find an excuse for so that they get not only that extra game purchase off of you, you have to buy the game again, but you certainly have to buy shark cards to get yourself back on your feet if you choose to continue playing again. And that's the situation that they're in. So I'm sitting there, I'm just fine. I have $350 million. I own basically everything in the game. But they're fucked. They're fucked because they're deluded. They don't understand what's going on. They don't want to understand what's going on, or they're in denial about what's going on. And yeah, Rockstar, whether in its entirety as a company, as a matter of policy or not, is rampantly abusing its customers. This is ripe for a massive, massive class action lawsuit. And I think that's what needs to happen. I think that their customers need to take them to task for a few $1 billion. I think that'll fix the situation. I don't see it changing any other way. Rockstar is just going to continue this. If you think this is going to change for Grand Theft Auto 6, you got another thing coming.